Have you ever questioned your reality? Especially when you observe Mandela effects and other glitches in the matrix. Have you never quite fit in? Have you always known deep down you're different? Maybe you are. Have you ever wondered if this is a dream? Could this experience be a type of game? A role player in a role-playing game? If you are a player, I believe you are one of the best, or you wouldn't be in this game. This holographic simulation I call the Earth game. Only the best are in this game, the champions. You are awakening and gaining lucidity in this dream because you are the best. You are a champion. How could you progress and keep advancing? Maybe it's time to open your heart, to activate and bring online the golden rainbow light within the heart, to turn on your bliss, a heart that is open and expanded and purified, literally changes your reality. It shifts your vibrational state as you connect to higher frequency code sequences and code streams of our holographic field. This presentation, featuring light language, is full of high frequency data streams, which is designed to shift your reality. This light language heart opening activation uses a very ancient language, an ancient angelic language known as Hibaru, of the Hibaru lineage, the primal seed language, which I'll explain more about as we continue. The goal is to bring about a change to your holographic reality field, to bring on the bliss at the speed and pace that's right for you. Hello, my name is Christopher Anatra. I'm the consciousness within the human DNA holographic avatar you know as the quantum BLISSNESSMAN. Blissness, I like it. Let's get down to blissness and open our heart. Welcome, you lucid dreamwalker, source player, awakening in the dream, awakening to the truth of our holographic virtual reality game, Truman Show simulation, where nothing is real in this dream state illusionary mind matrix, which feels real because we've been programmed hard to believe it in all aspects of our life. From the time we are born and are given amnesia as to who we are, to the holographic, somatic, hard light technology that projects all around us. There is no spoon. There really is no spoon. Shakespeare said, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." Players. Players in a play, complete with extras or non-player characters. Actors on a stage, following our script until the day comes when we can break free, when we raise our frequency just enough to seriously question reality, when we have a breakthrough in understanding this reality and create our own script. Role players in a role-playing game change the role and change the game. Raise your frequency, expand your consciousness, open your heart, and then the breakthroughs follow. When the aperture of your heart opens and your heart field expands, you become more psychic and loving. Love is the connection of all things as we travel through space. The more we open our heart, we can feel a river of energy as we travel at 1.3 million miles per hour through space-time. Our human avatar is made up of many different energy bodies. Two of those energy bodies are centered in our heart. One is our time body, and the other is our space body. You are your own universe, your own bubble of reality with time and space centered in your heart. It's how you can time travel or teleport. Space-time is in your heart, and when you are in sync with nature and in sync with the universal time, then all these possibilities open for you, such as what you could call super manifestation and abundance. The light language I'll be speaking will assist you to begin your synchronization into universal time, to lock you into space-time. As you harmonize with universal time, Your understanding of linear time in this matrix, this dream, will also begin to make more sense. For example, I'll make a statement that you will find challenging to understand, at least at first. The past is a memory, and it doesn't exist. The past is a memory, and it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist until you bring it into the now. Everything is the now in linear time. That's how this dream simulation works. As you continue your awakening journey, remember that. The past is a memory and it doesn't exist. What about your purpose? An expanded and purified heart reveals your purpose. Why are you here? What is reality? The answer has always been in your heart. This light language episode is all about opening and expanding and activating our human avatar's heart field, from the design of our heart, to the DNA, to the heart mitochondria, to the heart neurons, to the heart's electromagnetic energy field. Before we get to the light language, there are 5 aspects about our heart field and light language that I want to cover so that you better understand the activation. The first is the amazing design of our heart. The second is the mitochondria and the electromagnetic field of our heart. The third is the brain in our heart, composed of 40,000 neurons. The fourth is removing heart walls, and the fifth is explaining the type of light language that I speak. Then we'll begin the light language activation. If you've already watched this video and want to get right into the light language section, I'll leave a link in the description area below to the section where the light language begins. Otherwise, please continue watching so that you completely understand what will be happening as we do the light language activation together. This light language activation is going to be different than you might expect. Why? Because our higher selves, or what you could call our superconsciousness or divine selves or pure source, and everyone that watches this video will be working as a team to expand the power of the light language. This isn't just me. It's all of us working together across all realities, all dreams, all simulations, all timelines, all dimensions, all universes, like the concept of a mastermind group, a multi-dimensional team dedicated to assisting each other, purifying the heart field, continually growing and expanding. By the way, throughout this video, you'll hear me refer to your divine self. I normally use the term higher self, and there are many levels and understandings of the higher self concept. Because we are talking about purifying the heart and strengthening our connection to our pure source, I feel that the term divine self is more appropriate for this presentation. All of our divine selves have knowledge and have learned methods to expand the heart, purify the heart, and clear heart walls. My divine self will trade with everyone else's to accumulate this knowledge. So this video will expand and purify hearts and get better and better every time you watch it. It will bring our heart back to its original greatest state, its original source blueprint, with the most clarity, order, and sovereignty, and detached from any external interference or negative programming. We want to bring our heart to its original source blueprint, to make our heart lighter, more happiness, more love, more joy, with a great state of bliss, like taking off heavy coats in the desert, as the aperture of the heart is opened to receive more infinite energy from the cosmos in the form of love. First, let's talk about the amazing design of our heart. The heart technology that in Sanskrit and other traditions is called anahata. The symbol for anahata includes a 6-pointed star within a circle. Anahata literally means unhurt, unstruck, and unbeaten. Leonardo da Vinci discovered and created drawings of how blood flows through the heart. Leonardo's drawings revealed that the heart was more than a machine. It was a piece of art. The swirling vortexes within the heart's chambers, opening and closing the valves with each heartbeat. The first sound we hear in the womb is our mother's heartbeat. Do you remember the first sound you ever heard? Many tired parents of an infant know how playing those sounds of a mother's heartbeat on a loop makes it easier to get their newborn relaxed and to sleep. It's music to everyone's ears. Our avatar body is like an orchestra, an elaborate musical symphony of energy, frequencies, and vibration that resonates within and around us. As the heart pumps blood through the aorta, which is the biggest plumbing in our body, it has a huge impact on our physical body. It literally shakes our body. Lub-dub, 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 so that it vibrates. The beating of our heart literally vibrates our body. Lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. Perhaps when our heart is pumping blood and vibrating at higher frequencies, it can harmonize our two brain hemispheres, which can create a special electromagnetic field around our head so that higher perceptions of reality become possible. The heart is an amazing organ. The word organ has two meanings. The first meaning is a part of an organism's avatar that is typically self-contained and has a specific vital function, such as the heart, or brain, or liver, or kidneys. The second meaning for an organ is a large, complex musical instrument known as an organ or pipe organ, the king of instruments, which can create a huge range of musical effects. What do I mean? I'll let organist Josh Stafford show you as he plays the largest pipe organ in the world. Bohemian Rhapsody on a pipe organ. Amazing hand, eye, and foot coordination and musical talent. You can really observe how the organ is the king of instruments. The heart is an organ that can produce a wide range of frequencies, perhaps even being the main instrument creating a musical symphony within your body. The heart is the first organ to form during development of your body when you are in your mother's womb. It starts forming day one of conception. The heart beats before the brain is even developed and has 4 chambers by 4 weeks of development. The heart is the last organ to stop when we die. It is the first and the last of our human avatar body within this holographic dream realm simulation. Many of you that watch my videos and follow Mandela effects have no doubt learned about the Mandela effect regarding our physical heart. For myself, and possibly you, in a past timeline, our heart was offset to the left in our chest. However, in this timeline, the heart is centered in our chest. This is considered a Mandela effect. In this higher frequency timeline, we observe a physical, biological upgrade to our human avatar so that blood is pumped evenly throughout our body. Like the tuning of a fine instrument, our hearts are now able to make beautiful music, frequencies which are more clear and strong so that we can better project the music from our heart. Next, let's talk about the mitochondria of the heart and the electromagnetic field they generate. Because when the heart's mitochondria fully come online, when the heart is healed, it creates a big flame-up ignition. The heart generates the chi energy. The kidneys feed the heart chi energy. When the heart flame ignites, the kidneys come online. Our kidneys, like the heart, have had a Mandela effect, an avatar body upgrade which moved them from our lower back to our lower rib cage, much closer to our heart and protected by our ribs. Perhaps in lower frequency timelines, our kidneys were kept a far distance from our heart, way down on our lower back, to ensure it would be almost impossible for them to feed the flame of the heart chi energy. Besides an upgrade of protection by our ribs, could the new location of the kidneys to assist the heart be a hidden meaning of this body change? The kidneys have a special energy which feeds the golden rainbow light heart flame and which helps to set fire to carry the chi energy flame throughout our physical body. Chi is the energy current that runs through our bodies, providing us with circulation, nutrients, and minerals that we need to be whole. The heart is the center point that emanates the emission of biophotons into our aura, the bioelectric magnetic field that radiates from every human being. The heart creates these biophotons, photons which can become golden rainbow light, which are constantly radiated from our body. The more biophotons we radiate, the brighter we shine. Your heart, the part of your body that generates the strongest electric field, is thousands of times stronger than even the electromagnetic field of your brain. What generates all that power? Your mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Your heart has more mitochondria packed into it than anywhere else. Your brain has the next highest level of mitochondria, and your liver is third. Each heart muscle cell contains as many as 8,000 mitochondria. How much power are we talking here? In the book, Power, Sex, Suicide, Mitochondria and the Meaning of Life by Professor Nick Lane, who is a professor in evolutionary biochemistry at University College London, says, "You are a fantastically energetic machine. Gram per gram, even when sitting comfortably, you are converting 10,000 times more energy than the sun every second." That's a lot of energy. Gram per gram, 10,000 times more energy than the sun every second. And the majority of that is generated by our heart. The mitochondria allows us to shine like the brightest stars. The title of Professor Lane's book, Power, Sex, Suicide, might at first sound provocative, but that exactly describes the life of the mitochondria. They power each cell. They replicate asexually by dividing in two. They die or commit suicide when the cell communicates to them it's about to die and be replaced. About 1% of our 37 trillion cells die and are replaced every day. The word cell could also refer to a battery cell which converts chemical energy into electric energy, similar to our mitochondria, which take the energy from the food we eat and convert it to chemical energy, which is stored in a molecule we call ATP. The mitochondria also have their own chromosomes, their own DNA called mitochondrial DNA, which are passed down from our mother. Maternal mitochondrial DNA. Remember how in other presentations that I've made, I talk about how there are 3 types of players in the Earth game. Players, like actors on a stage, players in a play. The first are what I call non-player characters, or NPCs. Dolores Cannon, the famous author and hypnotist, called them backdrop people or backdrop actors. The second, player characters. And the third, what I call founders or dragons, which are elite players, but have nothing to do with those our society calls elites. 3 types of humans or players in this virtual reality simulation. Perhaps players following a script we agreed to before incarnating into our human avatar.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
What?
Sign this too.
Oh, this is absurd.
And this.
Everything you've ever said, like a script, like your book of life. Perhaps you were like an actor just reading the lines of your script. Could it be that the title of your script is your birth name? If so, my script would be named Christopher Anatra, and this is a role I play when I come on stage. Perhaps your life on a stage, like the soft disclosure in The Truman Show, that you are just waking up to, especially when you start noticing NPCs like Truman.
Truman? Honey, are you okay?
Get in.
Truman?
Look.
What?
I predict that in just a moment, we will see a lady on a red bike, followed by a man with flowers, and a Volkswagen Beetle with a dented fender.
Truman, please.
Look! Lady, flowers, and...
Truman, this is silly.
There it is! There it is! There's the dented beetle! Yes!
Perhaps not only you and all the other role players have a script, but even the world has a script, with all the turbulence we see playing out, just part of the world script we need to pass through. Timelines we need to ascend to get to the golden age, to get to graduation. The more attention, the more consciousness energy we give to the world script, the more power it has over us. My advice is to just tune out of all the negativity of the world script. Don't give it any energy. In a future episode, I'll go more deeply into the script concept and how it works in this virtual reality simulation with players and NPCs. Shakespeare said, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players," complete with extras or NPCs or non-player characters who don't have a soul or fractal of source, perhaps run by artificial intelligence, to add more drama and flavor to our life. Is it possible that if you are a player character in this holographic virtual reality dream state, your biological mother must also have to be a player in this game? Perhaps you couldn't enter this dream matrix simulation as a player if your biological mother was an NPC. Perhaps our mitochondria, which we inherit from our mother, is a key connection and important understanding: maternal mitochondrial DNA. Our mitochondria, which have their own DNA, are a symbiotic life form, and without them we wouldn't have life. Our cells would have no power. Perhaps our mitochondria also have consciousness and a high level of awareness of each other and can communicate with each other through a hive mind type system and are even aware that you're learning about them right now? Is it possible that they want you to understand their existence and all they do for you? In the Star Wars universe, there is a similar concept to mitochondria, which are called midichlorians. They are what generate the Force. In Star Wars, the midichlorians are microscopic, intelligent life forms that live within the cells of all living beings, just like our mitochondria.
I heard Yoda talking about midichlorians. I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Midichlorians are a microscopic life form that resides within all living cells.
They live inside me.
Inside your cells, yes. And we are symbionts with them.
Symbionts?
Life forms living together for mutual advantage. Without the midichlorians, life could not exist, and we would have no knowledge of the Force. They continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force.
Without mitochondria, life would not exist, and we would have no knowledge of the Force or our chi electrical energy field. Because you are a champion, like an elite athlete on your awakening journey on Earth, the most difficult game in the universe, you look for every advantage for success. I'm going to tell you 2 things about how you can help your mitochondria with your diet. The frequency of what you put into your avatar body. The first is that you can take supplements designed to make your mitochondria powerhouse batteries stronger and healthier and contain more electric current. There are many you can investigate, but one I recommend is an inexpensive supplement called pyrroloquinoline, or PQQ for short. PQQ is found in foods such as kiwi fruit, as well as human breast milk. Science confirms that PQQ increases mitochondrial biogenesis, which means more mitochondria in each of your cells. More energy, more chi, more force. If PQQ or another mitochondrial supplement calls out to you, consider adding them to your diet to show your mitochondria you care. The second thing is related to your diet and will give you a big edge in the Earth game, a big upgrade. You get an upgrade of 100 times more energy amplified in your mitochondria and 10,000 times more dream energy if you do this, and it's related to the heart. Break away from eating animals that have a heart. For some, this might sound controversial. For others, you'll say, of course! It takes most people at least 30 days for this upgrade of 100 times more mitochondrial energy and 10,000 times more dream energy for you, the lucid dreamer, to kick in. It does regress if you return to eating animals with a heart. They say that cavemen didn't draw salad bowls on cave walls. The progression of humanity from caveman hunting and eating animals with a heart to a plant-based diet is an evolutionary course of advancement. Vegetarianism is for advanced civilizations, and it will change your energy field. Even animals may view you differently. From what I tune into, at least 90% of civilizations in the Lyra star cluster practice vegetarianism, and 100% of the civilizations of the Pleiades are not eating animals of any kind. As a player, as a champion of other game matrix simulations, this is something you need to decide for yourself. Just as an elite athlete will measure and weigh their food and analyze everything they put into their body, remember that food is frequency. You are frequency. This game, this experience, is all about frequency, and your frequency is the key that unlocks the game. When initiating this light language heart expansion activation, remember that our heart-based mitochondria play a major role in our heart and our electrical energy field. What about emotions and the electrical energy field of our heart? Negative emotions close your heart. Negative emotions create heart walls. When we can learn how to control our lower frequency thoughts, by becoming consciously aware of them when they enter our mind and become dedicated to stop thinking about them in our now moment, and can do this in less than 5 seconds, then we are granted more unlock codes, more upgrades. The past is a memory, and it doesn't exist. Stop bringing low-frequency thoughts, especially about our past, into our now moment. This game, this experience, is all about frequency, and your frequency is the key that unlocks the game. It starts with our heart. A heart that is expanded and purified and full of bliss and joy literally changes your reality. It shifts your vibrational state as it connects to the code sequences and code streams of our holographic reality field. Your reality literally changes. You vibrate into a different type of holographic reality coding. Are you ready for this new vibrational level? To break away from the confined, specific frequency field that we've been existing in? Is it possible that our physical, electromagnetic, biological human avatar has been highly confined, restricted, caged by different prohibiting technologies that keeps us in specific emotional mental patterns? Literally, frequency technology programming and different types of information indoctrination to keep us locked into this simulation like a prison. The vibration of our heart's electromagnetic field can change the way we think, change the way we feel, and change the way we see our reality. Now, let's talk about our heart's intelligence and the brain within our heart. Our heart has a brain. Our heart contains 40,000 neurons. It has a mind of its own, and it does think and communicates with the brain. Our heart speaks to our mind more than our mind speaks to our heart. Is it possible we only use 2% of our heart brain? What would happen if those 40,000 neurons were fully activated? The ancient Egyptians saw the heart as an organ of truth. During the mummification process, they removed all the organs and left only the heart in place, believing it to be the center of a person's being and intelligence. Your heart does seem to be able to tell you the truth about how you feel and if what you think is right or wrong. Perhaps the neurons in our heart do more than help us fine-tune heart rhythms. Perhaps the neurons in our heart do more than protect us from certain kinds of heart disease. Perhaps the neurons in our heart is our divine self-source connection to us. Perhaps we should focus on allowing our consciousness to go into our heart. Perhaps your higher consciousness source fractal connection is trying to come online in your body, but your human avatar resists it because the mind cannot process a higher heart-brain intelligence. Perhaps the newly formed heart in a developing fetus is how our consciousness is portal into this reality simulation during the miracle of birth technology process. Could our heart be the entry point connection for our higher self or super consciousness or divine self to connect within our human avatar in this holographic dream simulation? Next, let's talk about heart walls. What is a heart wall? Remember the time you felt the most excitement, most love, most happiness, most joy, most bliss?
Hey, Mars.
What the
Welcome back home, First Lieutenant.
and compare that to how you feel now. The difference in feeling is a heart wall. Having that blah feeling is also a heart wall. Heart walls are made from trapped emotions. Heart walls are made from trauma. Heart walls are made from attachments. Heart walls are made from negative entities. Heart walls are made from limitations and blocks. Heart walls are made when pieces of our heart can be taken when a loving relationship ends. Did you ever hear anyone say, "That person took a piece of my heart"? Perhaps they literally did take a piece of your heart. Heart walls are the density that you've held in your heart and all that your body has experienced through the 5 physical senses. Besides clearing heart walls, releasing the hold of the binding that controls your heart walls, this light language activation will have an intention of purifying your heart. Last, I want to explain the type of light language that I speak. For those of you unfamiliar with light language, I'll leave a link in the description to an episode of my Symphony of Reality series where I explain what it is. Light language can also include hand and arm gestures, singing and dancing, symbols, and art. The speaking of light language has science behind it. You could call it sacred geometry linguistic cymatics, and it can change your DNA. Sound frequencies, like we can observe through the science of cymatics. Harmonious, geometric shapes and symbols. Cymatics is the study of visible sound and vibration. It usually entails sand or water on a vibrating plate or speaker. Different frequencies of sound produce distinctly different geometric patterns. Light language is created through the vocal cords and the tongue and the biophotons our body emits. It is said that light language can affect our DNA. It is said that light language allows for us to literally vibrate our frequency into higher bandwidths, which put us on higher timelines. There are many different dialects of light language, and the one that I speak is called Hibaru, of the lineage known as Hibaru, which originated in the sector of our galaxy known as the Cradle of Lyra. The Lyran star cluster contains the most well-known nebula called the Ring Nebula, also known as Messier 57. Hibaru is an ancient angelic language known as the primal seed language. Hibaru is the ancient language of humanity on the earth. It is composed of a 1,000,000-letter alphabet. It is a special DNA language which can alter your genetic code, your DNA. Your DNA, which is how your human avatar is being rendered into this virtual reality simulation by your higher self. Even though you probably can't see them yet, light language creates fire codes or fire letters. Perhaps these light language fire codes can activate planetary and human DNA. Perhaps these light language fire codes can allow you to bypass timelines, especially destructive timelines, and can repair the genetic damage within your DNA. The purpose of this light language activation is to expand your heart by removing blocks or heart walls. Its purpose is to purify your heart, to activate the golden rainbow energy of your heart, to purify your heart to its original source blueprint so that your heart can expand. When this happens, your heart becomes lighter. More happiness, love, joy, and a greater state of bliss is activated. Blissness. When I speak light language, I want you to know that I'm not channeling it, such as from an ET race or another being that is not me. Instead, I speak it from a direct connection to my pure, authentic source, and it is an honor for me to share it with you. With that said, let's begin the heart-opening light language activation. Before we begin, a word of caution. After the activation, your divine self will begin to adjust the aperture of your heart to open and allow more bliss to flow into you. However, most of us have been holding deep sorrow in our hearts for many, many years. This sorrow has to leave. As you better understand this experience, holding that sorrow within your heart serves no purpose. It only holds you back from your advancement. Around your heart is a sac called the pericardium. This sac is holding all these negative emotions. Normally this sac is thin and flexible, but repeated heart wounds make the pericardium stiff and thick. The sorrow and other negative emotions will be releasing from your pericardium. Let them go. If you think of your heart as technology, then the pericardium has been holding all these viruses and bloatware and malware. It's time to clean it out and return to a clean heart field operating system. Let them go. Hold them like a crying baby as they exit. Keep this caution in your awareness that this process may not be easy. Allow any type of somatic release to occur. Remember these words and be confident that it will all be worth it. It's part of the process. When the aperture of your heart opens and your heart field expands, you become more psychic and loving. That's when the breakthroughs happen as your divine self can more fully connect to you, to your purest source. Your divine self will allow this to happen at the speed and pace that's right for you. If you thought you were just going to listen to some light language, then feel all blissful, that's not the way this will work. But it will be worth it in the end. You are a champion. Remember that always. With that said, let's begin the heart-opening light language activation. Light language integration is facilitated by your divine self as you are ready for it at the proper pace and level most appropriate for you. This light language will cross all realities, all dreams, all simulations, all timelines, all dimensions, all universes. Everyone that watches this video will be working as a team, all of our divine selves connecting and trading to expand the power of the light language. A multi-dimensional team dedicated to assisting each other, purifying the heart field, continually growing and expanding to enhance all of our holographic reality coding. After I speak this special heart-opening light language activation and you wish to activate it within your bubble of reality, say the following out loud, then snap your fingers. Initiate heart-opening activation now. Remember to listen with your heart and not your brain. And as you listen, I invite your consciousness to go into your heart. Opening my heart connection to my divine self. I begin by starting the handshake process to your divine self. The handshake process basically says hello to your divine self. It verifies and allows you to authenticate my identity and opens communication channels. Shonyamotopiadnya takwa shusi panta, palioto meastusha, tinya matukia, sasuya no betiastaboa, samokwa, sharatoya, matukia tu, shunometiki, sasasawashonya, paliasu, sanya, pulionetisha ma kunitia. Initiating for all realities, all dreams, all simulations, all timelines, all dimensions, all universes. Shunimetuna shube tu kiawale me tu kinyanutia shutuba guano sapita pakuala pashusiamotinya de me tu shinyataka shonyonemiotosia tunisha kuki taliantipiasi sona kolia tujiasan metia nota kokoala soshia sabiniotoba da yodebeshio ba nudebeshito ba. Connecting and forming a network collective consciousness, all the way to our authentic sources, dreaming all dreams in base reality. Shonyametua nyudama kokule metu tisha, kwa nyutaba tush, senyemetu kia motua bala, pashusia, menyonemetuka pushele petutu, shonemetutia sosha, payasa, 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 shosiama, kuliamotitia sikiata, loko ish sampusha, sasusha. Activating your heart field and connecting to the authentic, highest frequency, electromagnetic grids and geomagnetic fields of this planet. Menjinemetwa shasabatwa pekia pakwale, sianemetotish sasashu, ma tukinita shosinya kuliompa tutitiasa, manyotubu shaniata wakuya, malotudia tata, shatatata waliapa, sociation, sociakakoko, matudia nyanyata shuso pa. Initiating all trading sequences so that we can learn and grow from all of our avatars' accumulated heart field knowledge. Menchitia metwatabatata shodoma kutitiya twatasha pukiani titiya sasasasa washusu minyone metodata wanyotaba koyamoshisi taliatatatata waka kwa lotomi sonya koleapudish sasasu sa kolyombede walambo tutu ya yonyobatu. Remembering your original source blueprint, Mesya da koshonemi taditiastush sasuma Kwasha pashusum pakole pesu shatodu shanyon toi doyabashusu senyutubi lankututa wushuti matutututu manuletua nyanopua socialma pakokala matishunditi lakoyino matatal shapa. Letting our hearts know we acknowledge and appreciate all they do for us from the day we are conceived to the moment we die. Monsieur no patu shitipe kotumitomita, shotibitomi, nawala, pasushani, tauka, tapishano, montabakusha, tapukwa, nupishitu, matu, shanumekwa, teho susita, molopodoyi, shahuatia, kanotu ashu, sakwakonotia. Sending a message of appreciation and respect to the mitochondria throughout our body for all they do for us. Mishodobetwa, nyesekwa, semitwa, wakuti, shobolo, metetetawus, yesewakokia, ne putumia, numakutu, shalabito ma, kwalabito titia, wukshu, tawosha, unditia, shaloa, nutiastia. Sending a message of acknowledgement to the mitochondria of our heart. Vyasitia sa sapakwa nutia, bashonum, dayano, gayasa, shanome, palampa, tubiso, dawala, puzyuro, madia, waashi, mukusha, malantu, mathusha, papichuso metwa, kusha. Activating the golden rainbow light within the heart to correct all distortions in full alignment with your highest frequency and divine source. Sholiabe sheniate opaye se metuti otumalesia mesio kuyesia kuliapu yesia koyesiano mesiasa sholepetu koyana thwashisa washi waho ya tishepitwa ho shohanisa wusha titia khasusa kunyotu. Sending codes for the higher vibrational state of our heart to connect to the code sequences and code streams of our holographic reality field. Mishianyama tiseboko, Danyotaba, Kotubi, Shosaba, Koyonete Suyi Jakwalen Nuto, Sanyapa, Kukutudu, Shanyodaba, Koleapa, Sheniti, Sasha, Kwalepiti, Panutu, Sonya Twatwa Shosho, Sasuyang Putuapa, Susu Shasu. Sending wake-up codes to the 40,000 neurons in our heart, the neurons which is our divine self source connection. Meshenyanonetikia nyetadata shiko sanchosaba koyanyopa susha be shutyuko mutuya yi sanhukia samuti shasusu munyolabe sabadada wanyatabakush sasiyata. Identifying and clearing the heart wall densities within our heart. Yosi pasushi Yahose asiabuhi esiabaku sebisia shokyo nyama tushi mantukia mythus washise wasushususo wakuse. Beginning the process to get all love back, reclaiming all parts and pieces of our heart for our return to bliss. Se so shabatwa sabishinyo patiaya tasoshi yokoniti moliopan de tese patu ati sabatwashi nachiataba kusha mitishola betuduncho metianomatush sesasi sasawatu mantu yisha papukala shusaba. Assisting your divine self to begin your synchronization into universal time of the time body and space body centered in your heart. Yoshonu yinyate watwa sho yane hohe shosuba kole chokwen sesio to jenitiati machisha micha kote Mechosio, Mesika, La Puti Shu, Ma Le Pu, Sha Su, Sa Shi Su, Sha La Pu Tu. Completing the heart opening activation sequences, opening the aperture of our heart to feel more bliss at the correct rate and speed, like a river of energy as we travel through space. Shinyataba Sujinia, Pa Tu Pa Shu Sa Pa Nyonto. Ma tukia sa sisia da wa shusa wa so wa jo whoosh se ni da saba sa kwa sis wa sa sia shosinya shanemetwa kwalabe. And now, if you agree and acknowledge that your divine self will be trading with others to make this activation stronger and stronger, make the following out loud statement and snap your fingers. Initiate heart opening activation and trading now. It was my great honor to provide this special light language activation. This video will expand and purify hearts and get better and better every time you watch it. Remember, it's a team effort with our divine selves. This ancient language of light was not supposed to ever be spoken again on this planet. So much has been done to block it. And about this, I like to speak one more thing in light. Sesio matua quiasabatia, metiatakush, senya pantiapa, shopalamputu, chasisi. Damatuashum, Chakaichia, L'Aqua nota shoti minja, Coponopenisia, Bastuya, Mushanatuti, Masha Baquala Pasusha, Tatietapa, Kahwashalanya. Hibaru reveals the mother tongue of the language of light, an ancient angelic language to assist in connecting you to the higher frequency code sequences and code streams of our holographic reality field. May your light language be activated, and if you already speak light language, to become more fully activated. This game, this experience is all about frequency, and your frequency is the key that unlocks the game. May you feel more happiness, more bliss from your awakening to your truth. As always, sending you and all the versions of you in all realities, all dreams, all simulations, all timelines, all dimensions, all universes, right down to your dreaming self in base reality, my love. Dream on, Dream on, dream on, dream until your dreams come true.